Thank you, Sarah. And let's see if we can get this slide thing working more smoothly. Here we are. So I'm known on Wikipedia as WereSpielChequers or WereSpielChequers, depending on how you want to pronounce that. But Jonathan is probably an easier pronunciation of that. And I'm here to talk to you about how to become an administrator on the English Wikipedia and a bit about why that's important. So first of all, what is an administrator? I'm assuming you all know what Wikipedia is. Administrators or admins are Wikipedians who the community has entrusted with some extra buttons. Most famously, the block button and the deletion button, but there are some others. Admins get to close contentious discussions, and admins are usually the pool from whom the community chooses arbitrators, check users, and bureaucrats. I don't think we've ever elected or appointed somebody to any of those roles who's not already an administrator, but in theory one could with one of those. Admins also can view deleted edits, and an example of that might be interesting to those of you running editathons and so on. I was at an editathon once where somebody wanted to know why the article on Professor such and such had already been created and deleted and whether they could create it anew. And I was able to view the deleted edits and able to say to them, well, was your professor a pro skateboarder in their adolescent years? I don't think there's anything worth restoring here, but as long as you're fine to create the new article, as long as you emphasize the academic stuff of that professor, and if it turns out they were also the pro skateboarder, that might merit a small mention in later on in the article. So how do we appoint admins? There's a process called Request for Adminship, also known as RFA or Hell Week. It's a 7-day online discussion where any member of the community can join in, and often over 300, I think the record is about 500, get involved in it, most of them just as voting. It has been compared to taking a driving test with a coach for examiners who are arguing about the criteria more than the candidate. But for fully qualified candidates, it usually looks like an appointment by acclamation. We often have 300 or so votes and well over 95% supporting it, and the threshold is about 65% for passing. So what do the voters look for? There are some unwritten rules and expectations. A minimum of between 12 and 24 months active in the community. That doesn't need to be consecutive, but they want to see a certain depth of time there. At least 4,000 manual edits, again, spread over that time or quite a bit longer. No blocks in the last 12 months, and ideally a pretty good explanation of why you've been blocked in the past, and etc. Some reference content, reliably sourced with inline sites. Ideally, you want to have a good article or two, but there are people like myself who've managed to pass without that. And some accurate tagging for deletion or at AIV, which is tagging vandals who need to be blocked. It helps to have a nominator, and I've got a link here to there's a page on Wikipedia for request an RFA nomination, where a bunch of us who've nominated people in the past have put up a line saying that we're willing to talk to people about nominations in the future. Or alternatively, if you're an easy journey from London, come along to the London meetup on the second Sunday of the month and talk to. There's usually a couple of us there who've done nominations. Thank you very much. Any questions? Hope you could all hear that.
Great, thank you so much, Jonathan. Really appreciate it. I know that going for adminship can be is something that can inspire a bit of fear in folks. So thank you very much, and thank you also for that offer. That's really kind.